Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna, and today we're going to start a new mini album tutorial. This one is for my great nephew Kohen. He is just a little guy yet, and so I told his mom that I would make an album, and I've kind of wanted it to go from when he was like a baby till now, and so I figured this was a nice paper pack that might cover that. It's definitely boyish and just cute. It's just cute. And I probably mispronouncing it, but it's Basic's New Adventure. So it's this little cat and this little mouse, and you know, it's got birds and stuff mixed in it, but it's basically about this little cat. Now I got this pack at a really good price, and I know that this one pack is not gonna cover it all, so I have several. I want to say I've got 7 or 8 packs of it. So I will just do a quick walk through here so you can see it. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can get a better look at this paper collection, and then maybe I'll so you can see, because it is very cute. So you get I don't remember how many you get. 6 double-sided and 3 one-sided sheets is what you get. And then I've also got, I think, 1 pack of, what do I got here? I think I've got 1 pack of stickers or cards or something, someplace. But I will show you those when I use them, when we start building. I'm not seeing where it is, but I know I have it. So you get 6 double-sided sheets. You can see the cute little birds. It's got little trucks on it. And then there's that one. And this is by Scrapberries. It says boys on it, little ships. Kind of a quilty pattern. So I figured, since I've got 3 packs, I'll just keep reusing the different papers over and over again. So see, there's the little cat. Here's some more of the little bird friends there. And then now we're starting in the single-sided, so it's like the little tags and stuff, which will make it nice for adding decoration to the pages. We've got some stamps and some little taggy things. So those will be nice for, and then just another sheet of this, and this is also single-sided. So it's a cute pack. So that's the pack we're going to use for this album. Now, in addition to that, I am using, this is Basil Basics paper, and it's called 2 Scoops. It's blueberry cheesecakes, and it is a, can you see that? It's embossed paper. But I had a couple full packs like this that I had purchased for this book. So, and I think I've just about gone through 1 pack, maybe. I don't think it was a full pack, but all right, so let's go ahead and start with the cover. So for the cover, you're going to need a full 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. Then I took another 12 by 12 sheet and I cut that down at 7.5 inches by 12. Save your other 4.5 inch piece. That's going to go on last. I have another 12 by 12 that was cut down 1 inch. So it's 11 by 12. And then we're going to put our 4.5 inch by 12 inch piece on the very end. And what this does is it allows our chipboard to fall so it's not too close to any of our edges. We don't want it too close to the edges because that's where stress points are going to be. And we want to try to avoid stress on those connections. So let's go ahead and start joining these together. Now what I've done is, you can see there's a line on my paper. I took my ruler and I set it at 1/2 inch, and I just drew a line. Okay, I did that on the first 3 pieces. So on my 12 by 12, my 7.5 by 12, and on my 11 by 12. Now your 12 inch is going to run up and down. So, all right. So I prefer glue. I have had in the past where different tapes have failed me, and I don't trust that so much. And for a while, I had a piece set here that I was going to show everybody at one time, but it has got pushed aside in the shuffle, and I don't know where it is. But so, and I'm not claiming all tapes do that. I'm just not willing to take a chance on an item. I want this little boy to have this for his lifetime. So, all right, so that's on my right side of my 12 by 12. I'm going to take my 7.5 and I'm going to line it right up at that line. Now, if you are a tape person, by all means, you go ahead and use your tape, or if you like tape and glue, you go ahead and use your tape and glue. I've got time here, so I'm not worried about, and I use art glitter glue, so I'm not worried about, oh, that's got a little blue line to it. Let me just trim that down a second. Caught it fast enough. Can you see that little white line? That's from the additional paper. Let me make sure I don't have any other ones on there that are going to show up. There's a little bit on this one. So I'm just going to trim that off a little bit. I don't want that affecting my finished product. And because it's a 12-inch length, it just might. So I'm just going to shave that off there. Just a little bit there. All right. Get it? Nope, I still got some on there. There we go. Okay. And then there was one on this one, I think, too. So let me go ahead and shave that off. I thought I had, there we go. I thought I had gotten that all off there, but apparently not. So if you have that extra little piece on there, then you'll want to shave that off. There we go. Perfect. Let's try again here. Sorry about that. Fortunately, I caught it in time, so it no harm done. There we go. We don't want to get that all done, and then it would show from our decorative cardstock that we put on top, because we're going to have that little edge along there. It would show, and we don't want that. So let's go ahead and get this piece going here. And I am sorry that I haven't been putting out very many videos. I don't know. I don't have an explanation for it. I've just been kind of in a lull for quite a while there. I was watching my grandbabies for about 10 hours a day every day while my daughter worked. Now I'm just, the last couple of weeks, been down to 3 days, which is, that does help. But I have just been, by the time she would leave in the evening, and then if the boys were off school, then I had them too, with the in-home learning and stuff the last bit. But and that's fine. They're older. They're 15 and 12, so it's not like they need be chased around and stuff. But my little one, she's 4, and she's a good girl, but it's just by the end of the day, after 10 hours, because she would drop them off and then she had an hour lunch, so she was there 9 hours, but by the time she dropped them off and was able to get back to pick them up, 10 hours have gone by. So by the time that happens, then I cook dinner for them, and Been cooking dinner and making dinner for him because it makes it easier on Mama. So, and I am just pooped out by the end of the day. So, just more of a relaxing thing. All right. So we got that all together. And I know you can't see this whole thing. It is, let me measure it and I'll tell you how long it ends up being. It is 18, 33 and a half inches long. So I'm never going to get a very long shot in here for you. So then for our chipboard pieces, we have our first one is, and they're all going to be 10 and a half inches high. So my first one is 10 and a half inches high by 9 7/16. Our second one, which is our left panel, is 10 and a half inches high by 3 3/16 inch wide. Then our, what I'm going to call our base, is 10 and a half inches high by 9 and a half inches wide. Our right side is 10 and a half inches by 3 and a half, and then we have a 10 and a half by 5 inch piece. So I'm going to slide this over this way so you can see. And because this is 10 and a half inches high and my paper is only 12, we're going to do about 3/4 of an inch on the top and the bottom. That should be fine. I am going to make a mark at 1 inch. So I know the edge of my paper has to be, and then I can hold my ruler. So I'm just going to draw a 1 inch line. No one's going to see it. And then I want to bring my ruler up, and I can make a 3/4 inch line also. That would be easier than trying to hold that ruler in place. Let's just do it 3/4. And I'm just going to go all the way down, because we're going to need 3/4 all the way down. And I probably will hold my ruler up there too, just to make sure I have just about, oh, there goes my little tool that I like to use for gluing. So just like that. Let me grab that in case I need it. There we go. Just my little tool that I like to use. There we go. All right. So I'm going to use glue on these. All right. So I'm just going to pop my bigger cap off here and put my glue on. And again, if you would like to use tape, you may. I'm just going to use glue, and I don't want it extremely thick because I don't want it to warp my paper, although it will dry, and I'll smooth it out here. Okay. There we go. I'm going to bring this right to that corner there. Line it up. And it makes it a lot easier, at least for the first one anyway. Okay. I'm going to kind of flip this over a second, and then I'm going to use that tool to kind of push that glue around. I don't want to be too rough because I don't want to eliminate all my pretty little embossing there. I just want to make sure that glue has a chance to get spread around there a little bit. There we go. All right, perfect. So our next one, our 3 3/16. I want about, I'm thinking about 1/8 of an inch in between them. So I might just kind of hold that up there to kind of let it, I can eyeball it. Yeah, I can eyeball it. So let's go ahead, and I'll keep the ruler handy just so I can kind of check. But fact, I might go just a little wider than 1/8 of an inch just to make sure I have enough room in there. I like a nice gusset in between my pieces there. Use my line at the bottom. Yeah. I want a good 1/8 of an inch there. Yes. It's a good 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Perfect. And then our next piece is our 10.5 by 9.5. One of these days I'm gonna try to use Tamara Merrill's. She does a wrap on some of her albums that's different. I just want to try one for myself to see what that's like. She does it different. She started doing it different than this. So be interesting to try it someday. Okay, my line, 1/8 of an inch there. Just do a quick check to make sure it's good. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, I made the suitcase album for their daughter, and she was so happy with it. So I thought, well, I got to get one out for Kohen. There we go. And I think what we'll get done today is we'll get this done, and we will get our pages put together, and I think we'll get, of course, the hinges put together, and I think we'll stop there for today, and then we'll see where my timeline is, but I think that will be a good start for today, is to get the book built. And all right, so the last one is the 10.5 by 5. As you can see, I've got different colors. These were I had 2 full sheets, and then I used scraps that I had rather than cutting up another full sheet, because what I had left from the 2 full sheets wasn't big enough to use for my spines. So those are scraps, and it doesn't matter because it's all going to get covered. So you're not going to see what color chipboard that I used. So that doesn't even matter. All right. Get my 1/8 inch there. And this is going to be our nice little cover. There we go. And I got some glue squeezing out there, and that's not a big deal because we're going to be folding these edges in anyway. So let me just flip this over, and I just push some of this glue around on the back side. It's a beautiful color, and it's going to go perfect with that paper. All right. So I'm just going to gently start pulling up my paper. Now, this paper, because it is embossed, I have to be real careful because sometimes it wants to crack a little bit. So if it does, then those areas we'll take care of. But if I get some glue in here, that will kind of soften that up a little bit. And then should be a little, oh yeah, I got glue plugged in there now because of using that open like that. Allows glue to dry up in there a little bit. Okay. Clean that out a little bit. We don't want it plugged. Okay, let's see if that helps. There we go, maybe. Try to get you to work now. Come on. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Open it up and just do a, be careful there. That's the chance I take when I open it up to use it like that. Sometimes the glue just starts. There we go. All right. Cover that back up. And then now I'm just going to gently bend that so to get the idea of what I need it to do. Again. I want to make a good crease on my ends there because we're going to be trimming those off. I want those to be really visible. Okay. Okay, let's put some of this on this edge. Soften that edge. And soften this edge. There we go. We're going to do the same thing on the ends. I'm just going to kind of get those to go up. Give them a good crease. Same on this end. Go up, crease. I'm going to take my scissors, and I want to come in and take these corners off, but I want to stay just a tad bit away from that very edge. Okay? Just a little bit. I'd rather have a little tiny bit to trim off than to have too much and then have to try to figure out how I'm going to fix it. So if you can see, oh, we can't see. I was going to say there's a line there, but just taking just a slight edge off there, and I'm staying just away from that corner, just a smidge. And I am running that just on a slight angle. Just on a slight angle. Let me see if I can get this one up high enough so you can see. Okay, so I'm coming off this corner here just at a real slight angle and stopping. And I'm going to do the same coming from this way. Just a tiny angle and stopping. And I have just a tiny bit there. All right. So let's go ahead and I will put a little bit of tape on there to kind of hold it while the glue dries. But I'm going to do both. I'm going to use glue too. That'll give me just enough to help hold that until the glue dries up a little better. Now on my one end, that last piece we put on, that leaves this just this right side just a little bit wider than an inch, but that's not going to hurt anything at all. Just a little wider. All right. All right. Let's peel these and get this going here. Get a good amount of glue there. Okay. Like I said, that tape will help hold that while it dries. There we go. Spin this. Okay. Just going to give that just a little push down there. Okay. And again, a good amount of glue here. Okay. I kind of like to start from the middle here, work my way out. And go back and press it down again here. Let me see if I can get that in there further so I can see a little bit more. Hang on. There we go. There. Should have done that to begin with. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry if my hair is in the way. I have quite long hair, and I don't have it up in a ponytail today. I just have it pulled back in a barrette. So, all right, now we're on our ends here, and I'm just gonna take my thing. I'm gonna push that little tip in there, just so it's not sticking out. There we go. And you can double check, and I'll show you on this other one here. And I bring this around here. Okay. So you can come in double check to make sure that these are not going to be sticking out. I've done so many that I can pretty much know if I didn't get it, but you should always check before you put your glue on. All right. I'm going to push that one in there and that one in there. It's not very much. There we go. Okay. We're just going to kind of go over these with this. All right. Perfect. Now I'm going to take the back side of this. This is rounded. If you don't have one of these, you could use like the round part of a pin or a marker. You just want something that's not sharp. Okay, so nice and gentle. Don't get crazy at first. You just want to get those fibers again used to being bent, but you don't want to get so rough with it that you're cracking the paper. Then you can move to a little bit more finer edge. Just give it just a little bit, and then gently start to bend them. Like I said before, you don't want to crack them like that. Just gently. Okay, so then our book is going to be like this, and we will put a connection there, so we'll have a nice little box. Okay, and our hinge is going to go here. So we need some more sheets of cardstock to add to the inside of our cover. And we want those. This is 10.5 inches high. So I am thinking, let me see here. I think I want for sure, I think we're going to go 10 and 10 3/8, I think. Yeah. No, let's do 10. Let's do 10 1/4. 10 1/4, I think. 10 1/4 high. And we'll try with the 12 first and see what happens. Let's see. 12 will get us there. Yeah, I think we'll be good there. And then another 12 because we want to overlap. That will get us there. So I think we're going to cut our second one down again to, let's do that one at 7.5. So full 7.5, and then we'll figure out what we need after that. Okay. So let's cut these down to 10.25. 10.25. And then one at 7.5 wide. Okay, and we're going to save that other part. Oh, let's try again. I just cut both of those down. I didn't separate them when I turned it. All right, let's try again. I think I got extra. All right. So we've got 10.5 by 12. We have got 7.5. We're going to overlap to about 1/2 inch. And then we will need, oh yeah, I think if we overlap that much, we might be able to get, all right. So, yes. So I'm going to use a full on that. So I'm just going to cut this one down to 10.25. So 2 at 10.25. I'm sorry, all 3 at 10.25. One is 2 are 12 inches wide. One is 7.5 inches wide. Let's go ahead and glue those down. All right. And here again, I'm not going to use any tape. If you want to use tape, you can. I'm going to get better. My glue skills are just sloppy right now. All right. Now I'm going to have about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to do 1/4 of an inch from my edge there. And then I have, yes, about 1/8 of an inch on the top and the bottom. Get this smooshed out here. That. Some of that glue there and there. And this is going to get decorative cardstock on it too. Oops. But I did stay about 1/4 of an inch away from this edge. Like I said, there's about 1/8 of an inch at the top and the bottom. Okay. And then my next piece is the shorter one. And again, we're just trying to avoid being right by those hinges there. So I'm going to glue this like so. We don't want to be putting our paper down right on the where it's going to bend, because that is stress points for it. So it would just be perfect. All right. And I'm going to overlap that about 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Smoothing that glue out. All right, and then this is our last one. And same thing. Again, and that should line up perfect. So again, we had 3 sheets of 12 by 12 that we cut down to 10 1/4 high. And we cut one of those sheets down to 7 1/2. Okay. I am going to need more glue. All right. Again, I'm kind of slide that a bit to get rid of some of that excess there. And this time I'm going to match up my other end first, my right side first at about 1/4 inch. And then bring the overlap, whatever's left, this way. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to set this whole thing aside for right now before we work on those, folding that up again. And we're going to get our hinge ready. So for our hinge, you are going to need a piece that is 9 7/16 inches high by the full 12 inches. Okay, and you're going to have your 12-inch side going this way. You are going to score this at 3 inches. And where is my other one? I had another one here that I had marked. What did I do with it? Okay, we'll just do it together. 3 inches score. 3 3/4, 4 1/2, 5 1/4, 6, 6 3/4, 7 1/4, or I mean, sorry, 7 1/2, 7 1/2. So 3, 3 3/4, 4 1/2, 5 1/4, 6, 6 3/4, 7 1/2, 8 1/4, and 9. So we'll have 3/4 inch hinges and 3/4 inch between each hinge. So what I like to do is I like to come in and just fold all my lines. So I go in and I fold them, every single one, and I burnish it till I get them all folded. Okay. Then you're going to have a 3-inch panel, then you're going to have a hinge. Okay. Then you're going to have 3/4 inch, and then you're going to have another hinge. Okay. Then you're going to have 3/4 inch, and you're going to have another hinge. So you will have 3 hinges that end up being 3/4 inches high and 3/4 inches in between, and then 3 inches on each side of that. Okay. So it's like little mountains, okay? So you have 3 inches, you'll have a mountain and then a flat spot. Then you'll have another 3/4 inch mountain and a flat spot, and then 3/4, and then another 3 inches, okay? So what I've done is I've taken a 1/4 inch strip of just double-sided tape, and I put it just in one of my panels on my 3/4 inch. And what I like to do, just so I don't make any mistakes, is I mark these. So, and I haven't done it yet. I wanted to do it with you. So what I'll do as soon as I get all my folds in, before I even crease, then I'll say, okay, I got my 3 inch here. So this is 1 and this is 1. This is a center. That's my Okay. This is 1, and this is 1. Okay. And then this one is my center. This is 1, and this is 1, and then this is my 3-inch piece again. So whenever you're making hinges, no matter how much you got here, it helps just to mark. So then I know all these 2 X's are just centers. They're just my gusset in between my hinges. So I know that these 2 go together, right? And these 2 go together. And then these 2 go together because I got my 1s on them. Okay? So I put just on one of my 1s, on each one, I put just a thin piece of tape. And then I'm going to use glue. You can use 1/2-inch tape, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I need some more glue here. So it doesn't matter. And hinges are just, I mean, it's just something you just practice. You know, when I go to see how I'm going to do my hinge, I use just a scrap. I used a 1-inch scrap. Back here it is, I think. Yeah. I used a 1-inch scrap to figure out my hinges and how I wanted to do it. That way, I'm not throwing away a big piece of my cardstock. I'm just using a little scrap that I would probably throw away anyway. So that makes it easy for me. And I like having the extra long support coming out from that because it's going to get covered. Like I said, it'll get covered with cardstock. So it'll be all right. All right. Again, I've got the cap off my bottle because my thing is, and I'm just going to put glue in one of those 3/4-inch sides. Same one I got my tape on. Okay. And I'm going to push that one to there. Okay. Now if you want, you can do this. Get it good. And that glue will help hold that until it's dried. Okay. Again, I'm going to take my next piece of tape off. Put some glue on that 3/4-inch hinge. Just like that. Now when we put our pages on, we're not going to use that full 3/4 of an inch. We're only going to use half of it because we want it to lay flatter. So we won't put our pages down all the way, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. I should not jump the gun for you. All right. It's 2. And the reason I'm leaving so much, like the 1/2 inch, I'll have a 1/2 inch before my front page and before my back of my thing, is because then I can do something on each of the covers too, if I want. Got a little extra room there. All right, and then again, just some glue on that 3/4 inch there. There we go. Perfect. And we're going to bring this up just like that. And I'm going to get to that 3/4 one. And that glue squeezing out on the ends, that does not bother me because that's actually kind of good, because then I know I got plenty of glue in there to hold that hinge together in the future. Okay. I'd rather have it stick together than fall apart later on. Okay. All right. So now if you look, we have, I'm going to get those hinges to go this way. I'm going to 2. See, we have 3 hinges. And that would be, and then this is one of my tunnels that's already built. And you can see it's should slide on there fairly nice. But, yep, see? Slide right on there. Okay? Perfect. Okay. So, let's go ahead and continue to let that dry a minute. We'll let this one dry. And I've already got 2 of my tunnels built. So for your tunnels, you are going to need 3 pieces that are, I don't know where my notes are. Wow. Still haven't done a video in a while. They are 8.5 wide, both of them. So if you wanted to, you could actually use 8.5 by 11 for your tunnels too. So they are 8.5 wide by 10 inches high. So you're going to need 1 piece that is 8.5 wide by 10 inches high, and your other piece is going to be 8.5 inches wide by 11 inches high. On your 11-inch side, you are going to score, whoops, 1/2 inch, flip it, and 1/2 inch. And the reason I do that is because quite often with my scoreboard, when I do that, I get a weird measurement for some reason with the scoreboard. I don't know why. So if I can, I always flip it and do it the same on the other end. Okay. There we go. So that is scored. So we're going to fold that and burnish it. Fold that and burnish it. Okay. Alrighty. And we are going to add a little bit of glue. Are you open yet? Let me see. Oops. Let's see if I can get glue out of there. Oh yeah. So I'm just adding my glue just to that 1/2 inch edge there. We just fold it over. Perfect. Oh goodness, if I can get my thing in there. We're going to bring this in, and I'm going to line up that top edge there. And before it all sets, I'm going to kind of make sure it's even there. Even along the edge. Okay, just like that. It's pretty good. All right. Oh, come on. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Okay, let's see. Not sure. Should have had plenty of glue on there. Okay, now I like to check the inside here. Just make sure I don't have any bubbles. There. And we're going to add glue to this end here. Okay. Just down that 1/2 inch edge. Okay. We're going to bring this up and line it like that. All right, so that is our tunnel. So we have 3 of those. All right, let's go ahead and bring our book back in here a second. There we go. So, and we're going to find those same edges, and we're just going to run that down there. Should be able to see them all this because of your little edge there. You should be able to pick them out. There it is, a long one. And then we got one here. And we've got one right here. Okay. Sometimes if you can't see it, just gently bend your book up and it will show itself. Okay. There we go. I'll just breaking in those fibers again. We did the last time, and then I'm going to come back in with this finer edge. It's like a, and I don't want to go through my paper. Don't want to break it. Put a hole in it. So, okay. That. Now let's get this side here. Then you can see that was bubbling up right there. Yeah. Right there. There. Okay. All right. Okay, we're just going to be working on this panel right now. So we're just going to let that still sit and cure. Okay. So slide this down. So I want to come in here and I want to mark the center of this so I know where to put my, now it is 3 1/4 or close enough. I know this one was just a tiny, but we're just going to use a 3 1/4. So that would be 1 1/2, and so it'd be 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths. So 1 5/8 should be the center. Yes, that should be the center. So I just want to make a pencil mark up here where I can see it, and I'm going to do the same down here. 1 and 5/8. So right in there. Okay, we can always go back and erase those. So then our hinge, we know this is our center one. So we just want to match up our pencil lines with that center. So I'm going to raise this up so you can see those pencil lines that I marked. See a pencil line there and one right there. And that bottom edge. So then when we bring this in, then we line up this and this with each of those pencil marks, and we know that that will be centered. Okay. So on this, I do want to use a little bit of tape on this just to help hold it until the glue does dry. So we'll just go ahead and throw some of this on there, along with our glue. Ooh. Whoa, a little crooked there. That's all right. Press those down good. Bubbles. All right. I want to get back in the swing of things and start doing my tutorials again like this because I like doing it. I do. All right. So, oops, piece of paper there. All right. Oh, Muscovite. All right. Come on, glue. All right. Off goes the cap again. I don't want my other glue to dry up before I can get this down. That wouldn't be good. Okay. I think that should hold it. Okay. I think it should. And I think that will be quite long enough today. All right. So again, I'm going to straighten that one out so I can see it. Bringing that middle one there. And that's going to be there. And we are going to be about, we want to split the difference in between the two. So you're going to have, yes, about 3/8 of an inch on the top and the bottom. So I've got my mark there and I've got my mark there. And I am just going to press on the center ones first. So here, and there, and here, and there. And now I'm going to bring this out this way and this out this way. Okay. And then we're going to fold this here. Okay. A little bit of glue here. You can see using all the same colors there, they just all blend in nicely. And like I said, this is going to get decorative cardstock in here too. So it's going to be a nice heavy book. All right. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, there we go. All right. So I'm going to let this sit up and dry. And then this is where we're going to end it today. When we come back for the next tutorial, we'll put all of our, sorry about that, that's my husband is home. So we're going to let this dry and then come back in and I will make my marks in here like we did before. If we can do that a little bit now, just start making the little creases in here. And we'll add our hinges. And this is another reason why you want extra room in between your chipboards, because all these pieces of paper take up room. So every time you end up a piece of paper, that takes up more room inside of your book, inside those folds. So you want to make sure that you allow enough room in between each piece of chipboard for that. Otherwise, you're going to have where it just won't fold. It won't fold over at all. It won't do that like that. Okay. So when you break out on your own to start creating your own albums with your own designs, you want to keep that in mind. And I probably could have left just a little bit more room on this one too. So, but we should be just fine. So I want to thank you for dropping in with me, and I hope you follow along and give this one a try. And you don't have to use the same papers I'm using. You don't have to have the same theme. You can use any theme, and you can use any cardstock. You can use any decorative cardstock you want to create an album. So I want to thank you to my subscribers. And again, I'm sorry that it's been so long since I've put up a tutorial. If you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down in the right-hand corner. When the bell pops up, if you hit that bell, you'll be notified each time I do upload a new video. And as always, until the next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.